Hey guys, BaoZakeruga here. Now if you know anything about me, you'll know that I am a huge gamer. In fact, that wouldn't be who I am today without video games. But there is a few things I have to get off my chest as a gamer. So without further ado, here is my 5 confessions as a gamer. Number 5. I'm terrified of King Boom Boo and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Now when I say terrified, I mean that this abomination was nightmare-inducing to me as a child. Just the way he chased you and the way he creeped around the corners with those beady, piercing eyes sent chills down my spine. To this day, I avoid this boss like the plague. And if I have to face him, I put the TV on mute. Yeah, that's another thing. I refuse to fight him with the sound on. Not even sure why, but it brought a tiny bit of comfort to me. And you have no idea how good it felt to put him on the run and just punch the crap out of him. But in conclusion, yes, I'm frightened of a fat ghost with a rainbow tongue. No judging. Number 4. I almost never play video games on hard difficulties. Now this one I almost didn't put on the list because part of me doesn't see a problem with it. The simplest reason I rarely play video games on hard difficulty, or video games that are hard on their own, without difficulty settings, is because I play games for enjoyment. And my idea of enjoyment isn't chucking my controller or handheld against the wall. Looking at you, Mega Man X5. Now, tons of gamers like a challenge, and I get that. I don't mind a challenge. The thing that usually turns me off is when difficulty seems tacked on, sorta like a gimmick, a la Super Robot Wars Original Generations Gaiden, where bosses have ridiculous amounts of HP for no reason other than to extend length and give you a false sense of challenge. I know people don't like a game that's too easy, but honestly it rarely bothers me. Nothing wrong with obliterating anything that looks at you funny in casual normal mode in Fire Emblem Awakening. Number 3. I use walkthrough guides for most RPGs I play. Now when I say most RPGs, I mean I usually use walkthroughs for RPGs that give you no sense of direction in regards to what you have to do in order to advance the story, or games with an overabundance of puzzles for no logical reason. Plus it just saves time. No sense in wandering around for 10 minutes to half an hour trying to figure out where to go. You can just get the answer right there and spare yourself time. And there's some RPGs where you pretty much need a guide to get all the side quests done. Yeah, see you, Tales of Vesperia. Number 2. The countdown music when you're underwater in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 used to freak me out as a kid. So you're running through the water in Chemical Plant Zone, and after a while, this plays. For some reason as a kid, this little jingle terrified me to my core. Now the jingle is supposed to give you a sense of impending death and drowning, so I guess Sega did their jobs. But it literally made me scared to the point where I dreaded going into water the entire game because being the amateur that I was, I knew that I was going to stay in the water too long without an air bubble and hear that godforsaken little jingle. Now that I'm older, it doesn't really bother me anymore. But I'm still not a big fan of it. Number 1. In all my years of playing Pokemon, I have never, ever completed a Pokédex in-game without cheating. Being the Pokemon fanatic that I am, part of me is ashamed to say I have never completed a National Pokédex in the games. It's primarily the fact that most Pokemon games tend to get boring after the main quest is through. I mean sure, you usually have the Battle Tower or the Frontiers, and in the recent generations online battling. But still, not much incentive to complete the Pokédex except for bragging rights. Despite this, however, I've made it my goal to complete the National Dex with Pokemon X and Y. Hopefully they let us trade between the 5th and 6th generations. I doubt Game Freak wants an angry mob outside their headquarters. So there you have it, my 5 confessions. Now I want to hear what your confessions are, if you have any. You can either leave them in comments below, or we can make a video response. And as always, thank you for watching.